Hey everyone, it is Have a High here, bringing you a video on Dragon Ball Z Kakarot. That's right, where previously this game was called Dragon Ball Project Z, we now have much more clearer information and a better picture of what this game will be, being that it is named Kakarot. That is right, it's going to be the Goku show, the Goku story. And I wasn't able to do a reaction video yesterday when this was introduced on E3, so they did a trailer and then IGN did an interview where they did some internal gameplay. Definitely go check that out. It's very good, a good watch. But I figured I'd do a breakdown instead, just to give you my thoughts and my take on this brand new game, Dragon Ball Z Kakarot. So with that, if you are new to my channel, like, subscribe, comment below, do all that good stuff. Let's go ahead and jump right into it. So the first breakdown, of course, is the game description. This is on the Xbox website with the Dragon Ball Z Kakarot link there. I'll post that link in the description below. It says here, experience the story of Dragon Ball Z from epic events to lighthearted side quests, including never before seen story moments that will answer some burning questions of Dragon Ball lore for the first time. That's very interesting. Play through iconic Dragon Ball Z battles on a scale unlike any other, fight across vast battlefields with destructible environments, and epic boss battles that will test your limits of your combat abilities, increase your power level, and rise to the challenge. Don't just fight as Goku, live as Goku. Fish, fly, eat, train, and battle your way through the Dragon Ball Z sagas, making friends and building relationships with a massive cast of Dragon Ball characters. So very interesting here is that first paragraph is never before seen story moments. So we do see in the trailer here, I didn't put any sound there, some kind of re-look or reanimation of these epic moments right here, the Super Saiyan transformation and the fight against Frieza. But it also says here some burning questions that's going to be answered in Dragon Ball lore for the first time. Okay, I'm not too sure what questions we have, but be interesting to see what they come up with. And I'm going to go into more detail of all these topics here in a bit, but that's the one that jumped out at me at the most. And of course, this is don't just fight as Goku, live as Goku. I don't know if that's kind of a different meaning. I seemingly like just watching the trailer and also watching the gameplay, you just fight as Goku with some other characters. Anyway, but let's go ahead and quickly do some more details here. Now, this game is published, of course, by Bandai Namco Entertainment. Now, the developer is CyberConnect 2. Now, CyberConnect 2, kind of looking back at their past, really focused a lot of their games on the Naruto series. So, all the way back from, looks like the first Naruto game was 2003, and the most recent is 2018 Naruto Ultimate Ninja Storm Trilogy. So they've done a bunch. They had a couple interesting games. They did a thing with Square Enix, Final Fantasy VII G-Bike on the Android and iOS, a mobile thing. That was kind of fun. And JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, for your JoJo fans out there, Eyes of Heaven, they developed that as well. So, but interestingly enough, they are going to be coming out with 3 games in 2019. Fuga on the Battlefield, Tokyo Ogre Gate, and Cecil are going to be coming out for CyberConnect. If you want to check out their game style, definitely check out those 3 games. So, but this is being the first Dragon Ball game that CyberConnect 2 has actually done. So the platforms here is the Xbox One, of course, being on the platform of the announcement on Microsoft E3 Xbox conference there. But I think it's going to be on PC as well. I think I saw a official thing stating that it's going to be PC, and that's great for me because that's what I would play on PC. I didn't see anything on PlayStation 4, so you guys might already know that, but officially I didn't see anything that says it's going to be coming on PlayStation 4. I'm thinking it will, but maybe Xbox One first. So now the genre they put Kakarot in is action RPG. Now I'm very particular about my ARPG definition, and I will talk about that in the next slide, but there's, in my opinion, a full action RPG and a semi-action RPG, and it's looking like this game is more the semi-action RPG. The release date is going to be early 2020 and January, February, and that makes sense because seemingly they're still trying to shoot out a Dragon Ball game every single year. Most recently, if you can consider this a release of Super Dragon Ball Heroes globally, it's been in Japan for a long time in arcades. But of course, Jump Force came out with a whole lineup of shonen characters, and then Dragon Ball Fighters, things of that nature. So these games, they're just pumping it out. Now the question for me was, why did they stick with Dragon Ball Z? Couldn't have they maybe looked into Super? Now, Dragon Ball Z, it goes beyond, it goes toward the beginning of Super, where the Beer Saga, the Battle of the Gods saga starts at. So we'll see if it actually goes toward that. So now let's talk about my thoughts of the game, because this is going to be positive, maybe some negative here, but my thoughts here is, we know that is not going to be a full open world game, which isn't disappointing, because full open world, we really don't need it, especially in a Dragon Ball story mode type game, which is this is what it's seeming like it's going to be. So it really reminds me, I think a lot of people said this already, is that it's Kingdom Hearts. It's very Kingdom Hearts style of gameplay here, and a little cross of Final Fantasy in here as well, where it's more of when you're flying around, when you're traveling, which traveling looks great, by the way, and you're going to like a location, you're talking to somebody, and then you're going into a quest style mode. So that's very Kingdom Hearts style. So, and a lot of people like that gameplay. I enjoy it. Now, the Final Fantasy, what I mean by that is, it's not like when you go into an area and there's a bunch of Cybermen, you kill all those individuals. It's more of, you go to a location and you kind of go into an instance and go into a battle mode at that point in time. So it doesn't seem like enemies hanging out and you can just go jump and fight them, much like Kingdom Hearts you're able to do. So it's kind of a cross between. It's gonna be interesting to see more gameplay, but the stuff that we've seen right now is just, go talk to somebody, go do a mission, and see kind of where it goes from there. Now the side missions I'm excited about, because you saw Goku fishing with his tail. All right, so fishing with his tail really reminded me of the fishing side mission is reminding me a lot of the Ocarina of Time fishing side missions, and that's Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time. I played that portion of the game just for hours and hours, just trying to catch the biggest fish. So I don't know if this is going to be the same thing. It's seemingly like you catch fish to eat, which is fine, but hopefully they do kind of some sort of gameplay or some sort of competitive thing that you can do there. But looks like you're able to just catch the fish, eat it, and they'll maybe give you like a little power up or something for a limited time. So yeah, I'm excited to see more gameplay, but we know that is not going to be a full open world. We also know that it's so far being announced that it's going up to the Frieza saga. In the interview, I don't know why they did this. We know this is the Goku storyline. We know this is everything about Dragon Ball Z. They said we're not sure. We cannot tell you if it's going to extend past the Frieza saga. Come on. You have the Android saga, the Cell saga, and the Buu saga. Now, will they go into like the other world? Will they go into Battle of the Gods? Will they do that? I'm not sure. So maybe that's why they don't want to say anything. But I think those are going to be like downloadable content. They're going to gouge us for some more cash, I'm guessing, after you buy this game. Now, one thing that I was kind of talking about this in the previous slide was that why did they choose just focusing on Dragon Ball Z? Because Super is now the relevant series. And for me, this is kind of a negative connotation, is we've done this over and over again. We've seen the Dragon Ball Z Goku story over and over and over again, and they've remastered it or redone it in various different games. I would like to see, now I'm not sure if they are going to put this in the game, because once again we haven't seen all of it yet, is a different perspective. I would love to see what was going on with Vegeta, or what was going on with Piccolo prior to kind of all this. We don't see how Piccolo trained, how he got the special cannon, what was Vegeta doing before Raditz was showing up. We saw a little bit of them destroying a planet, or not destroying a planet, but like conquering a planet and things of that nature. But we want to see more of those types of things. I would have actually liked to see like Dragon Ball Z, the Namekians or Saiyans, and having different game modes or different storylines versus just the Goku story. I know Goku sells. That's the whole point of developing games, making the money, of course. But as a fan, we've seen this a lot, a bunch, and I would have liked to see some sort of differences. Now, they could put the stuff in that I'm talking about, but so far of what I've seen, it's a Goku storyline game with a upgraded, game style, which looks fantastic. So the other thing I want to talk about is the Dragon Ball characters. They did say, of course, we're gonna have the favorite Dragon Ball characters, a whole litany of characters that we know in the series. But we saw Android 8 in the game, so that's some deep cuts there. Are they gonna bring out Arale? They're gonna bring out other enemies or other characters from the original Dragon Ball series. Will they go all the way to Beerus, right? Because Dragon Ball Z Battle of the Gods, that is still part of Dragon Ball Z. Are they going to talk about the movies? I think they kind of answered that a little bit in the interview. They're going to stick toward the Dragon Ball series, or Dragon Ball Z series, but maybe they show a little, Beerus was around when Dragon Ball Z was around, so we just never saw him, but maybe they'll add a couple of those things in there. Now, when it comes to the characters, seemingly like just like Kingdom Hearts, it's going to be more of a support feature. Whereas, when you're Sora, you have your Goofy and your Donald, and they're just kind of behind you, helping you out. So seemingly what we saw with the Raditz battle is Goku fighting with kind of Piccolo as a support unit. So it looks like that's what's going to be, which is fine. But I would like to see if you can play Piccolo or Vegeta or some other characters. So we'll see. We'll see what that comes up from. So lastly is, I mentioned this before, is this going to be a full action RPG? It doesn't look like it. Because for me, for it to be a full action RPG game, it has to have three things. One, customization. And really, how much can you customize Goku? Could you give Goku Final Flash, or can you give him other special moves? I don't know. That's going to be something interesting to see if there is going to be any kind of customization, or is it going to be more just fighting through the story and playing through the story? Does this game have item RNG? Item RNG for me, and having different types of drops and some drops better than others, is a huge thing when it comes to action RPGs. Finding great loot is very important to the replayability of a game. Not just finding like a special weapon or a special move, but how good is that because of the RNG, because of the roll. I hope they have something like that, but once again, after seeing the gameplay, seemingly more toward the Kingdom Hearts style, where you just gain, go through the storyline and gain gain your levels and gain your powers, but not necessarily any RNG. And that constitutes then, is it going to be a heavy grinding game? And I hope it is, because replayability really helps the game out, where people can stream it over and over again versus just playing through the storyline and just watching the cutscenes. Which hopefully that's not what this game is going to be just focused on. Now, that's what it seems like it's going to be focused on, but will it have these three things, and then can I call it a full action RPG? Right now, it doesn't seem like it. It's just going to be a semi-action RPG. It's going to be an RPG with some action in it. So anyway, that's my thoughts about the game, negative or positive, however you want to think about it. What are your thoughts about this game? Because I think overall, the game looks great. Overall, the graphics looks incredible. The game style is definitely my cup of tea. A lot of people enjoy Kingdom Hearts. A lot of people enjoy, Final Fantasy type games, and the depths of those games. And seemingly they want to put a lot of content, a lot of volume into this. So that's all the plus side on there. The negative side is Dragon Ball Z. It's the Goku story. We've seen it multiple times. I would have loved to see a Dragon Ball Super, this kind of game with the Battle of the Gods, starting from Battle of the Gods to possibly the Broly movie. But maybe they're working on something like that next year. So, because seemingly they are going to be pumping out these games constantly. Now, on the streaming side of things, me being a Dokkan player, it's just an added game that I can play, which is great. Dragon Ball, or Super Dragon Ball Heroes, excuse me. Super Dragon Ball Heroes kind of died out a little bit, and that's unfortunate, because I think the replayability of that game kind of lost out, and I hope Kakarot doesn't do that. Hopefully there are some RNG aspects of this game where people will continue to play it over and over again and grind it out, because gamers love to grind. So anyway, hopefully, what are your thoughts? Let me know in the comments below. I've rambled long enough, but thank you guys for watching. If you're new to my channel, like, subscribe, comment below, do all that good stuff. And yeah, catch you next time in the next video for Dragon Ball Z Kakarot. Later.